Kodandi here, and it is the weekend, so Cham Beach is a little bit more busy. I'm a little too sunburnt to be in the water today, so I'm giving it a break. I'll get back in the water tomorrow. So yeah, I want to talk about the reasons why I'm not in the US and I don't plan to be in the US for a while, and why I left and why I've dropped out of society. And I mean, it's a process, I guess, dropping out of society. But let's go back a few years before the PTSD got really bad. I had depression, like so many people. That statistics are now showing that depression is up in all demographics. Oh, there's where I'm staying. I don't want to walk too much further. Depression levels are up for all demographics, all of them, everyone. And it's like American society is clearly failing, because when we have a problem that could be solved by giving people basic resources, accommodations, getting them involved socially, then it's not like a personal problem or a personal failure. It is a social problem and a social failure. So for example, someone using a wheelchair has a problem. They can't get into this building. And all you need to do is put up a ramp and they could get into the building. It's not a personal problem or a personal failing that they cannot get into the building. It is a social problem because society is not willing to accommodate them. I am going into the water. Hopefully the wind is not so bad. So, the fact that they can't get into this building is not the wheelchair user's personal failing. It is society's failure. And so let's go back to the years when I had depression. The best cure for depression that I found was money. That getting some income and knowing that my rent would be paid and I would continue having a place to live, and that I would have food and I would be able to buy, supplies and necessities that I needed, cured my depression. Funny how that works. How having the resources that I need to survive cured my depression, which is a sure sign that the depression is not a personal failing so much as a failing of society that is unable to provide resources for people. And it wasn't because I wasn't working or anything like that. I was definitely working. I just was not able to work enough to feel stable in my income. And so I got depression when I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to make rent or buy food or get any whatever supplies and necessities I needed. Yes, I was depressed because I didn't have access to the resources that I needed. And, when we look at the fact that depression levels are up in the United States for all demographics, everyone, we have to think about this. Like, people are working their asses off in order to be able to, get some survival level of income. So many people can't make payments on their loans, student loans, like that's a whole train wreck, this whole student loan scam. More and more people are going bankrupt because of medical expenses, that the number one cause for bankruptcy in the US is medical expenses. Getting the care to keep you and your loved ones alive is ruining people financially. More and more people are being evicted. Homeless encampments, especially where I come from in Oakland, California. Oh my God, the water's so warm. The homeless encampments are growing and growing. More and more people have no place to go other than a tent under the freeway. And, you know, it got to a point where, after this, kind of like financial depression that I was having, then the PTSD hit. And all of this other shit was happening in the United States. And just, it was a matter of survival for me to get out of this society that does not provide resources for me and people in need, and where, the culture and the society is like actively triggering my PTSD. Like, really, why would I stay in a place that is causing me mental health problems? Because it's not like, I had a serotonin deficiency, I have some sort of brain damage or whatever. I had very normal, common traumas, very normal, common problems, very normal, common, whatever. And society could not deal with me. Society could not provide for me. Society refused, and in fact was actively making things worse. People talk about the Illuminati, and, the Illuminati, I mean, it's real, but it's not real. Like, they're not some like weird super occult thing. They're very real, but it's capitalism. It's this, 1% ruling class kind of thing where these people do not give a shit about our well-being. They're only interested in their own financial gains and power. And I got out, and I do not want to go back until things change, because, like they say, you have to be the change and blah, blah, blah. But for my own physical and mental health, like, I was not doing well. My physical and mental health was not good. I was a fucking wreck. And there was absolutely nothing that any medical treatment could do. Only this sort of spiritual treatment, getting out of the US, going to this adinam, this ashram, studying with my guru, only that helped. Because, I mean, what cure is there for a disease caused by capitalism? What cure is there for a disease caused by this, horrible political situation? What cure is there for this disease? Social change. And since social change was not happening at the rate that I wanted in the US, I had to leave that society and go to a different society where things are different. And so I don't know when I will be back in the US. I don't really want to go back to the US now. I'm going to try to stay out of the US for as long as I can, preferably outside of Western countries, because I know, like, the UK is also having similar problems, especially with the health service and people that are disabled. And yeah, non-Western societies are very different and are not triggering my PTSD and not aggravating my financial depression. So yes, that is, one of the things. I've been looking at other videos of people that have dropped out of society, and a lot of people don't really articulate why they left very clearly, and I wanted to articulate that a little better, because I feel like it is not an individual problem, personal failing that I had to leave, but it was a social problem that I was unwilling to deal with. And, I want to live. I want to live life. I want to be happy. I don't want to be, near death, miserable, struggling, unable to get out of bed in a country that won't care for me, in a society that won't care for me. As simple as that. So, okay, beautiful, beautiful day at the beach. I am going back into the hostel because it is hot and there's a lot of sun and I am sweaty and I want to do laundry. So, Nityanandam.